Welcome to the Jess and Hardcover. Starting off strong. Welcome to the Jess and Hardcover comic book news show for July 29th. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your San Diego Comic Con news extravaganza episode
Woohoo!
because there has been so much junk that has come out of San Diego Comic Con. Sifting through all of it is such a pain, but we've got some really good news stories for you. And with me, as always, is the best damn co-host that a guy can have, Mr. Jess Bry.
Heyo! Thank you for the kind words. Back at
Hey.
you.
Nice to see you this morning, man. I know we both just kind of woke up like a few hours ago, so
I know I had to put a hat on because my hair's a mess. Actually, maybe it looks all right.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, you go on downtown Orlando like that and you look fine. Don't worry about it. How's your morning going, dude?
Good. So far, so good.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. Same. Haven't had breakfast yet, baby. She says as she's holding a kitchen knife. I love you. Can I get some, please? Anything?
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, my wife would hand me directions to the kitchen and say, "Here, you know where it is."
Well, see, normally I'm actually the one that cooks in the morning. Especially since it's the summer and I'm home. I usually wake up before her, so I get to cook. I usually am the one that cooks.
Oh, okay. So it's only fair.
It's only fair, and I'm also the stronger cook. She didn't believe that. So we're gonna kick it off. We've got quite a few things to talk about this week. Arguably the most important and biggest news announcement this week that fans have been clamoring for the past 20 damn years for this to happen. Everybody's been in an uproar. They've said, we want this to happen. We're so excited. We're getting another Spawn movie. Come hell or high water, we are getting another Spawn movie.
Wah, wah.
I'm sure Gabe was really excited about that one. Not only are we getting another Spawn movie, but we are getting a Spawn movie directed and written by Todd McFarlane.
Holy smoke.
Which I don't think, I might be wrong, I don't think he's ever directed a movie in his entire life, so we'll see what happens.
It's, God, you can't just walk in and direct a movie. It's like one of the hardest things you can do intellectually is piece all that together.
Well, it's happening, and it's, okay, Todd McFarlane has found a home for his forthcoming Spawn movie, the Image Comics co-founder announced today. The movie, which McFarlane has said will be a horror-focused movie with a budget in the neighborhood of $10 million, there's your first mistake, is headed to Blumhouse, the studio known for films like The Purge, Paranormal Activity, The Belko Experiment, and things like Get Out and stuff. Basically, Blumhouse, what they do is that they give people a small budget, like $10 million, $12 million. So even if the movie does terrible at the box office, they don't lose.
They can make it up in video rentals and sales or something.
Yeah, they make it up in video rentals and sales, and it doesn't cost them really anything to put out these really small movies. So they take the risk on guys that have never really made films or have done really small films. This past summer, they put out Get Out and
oh wow,
they did Get Out and they did the M. Night Shyamalan movie that's it was really popular this summer.
Oh, Split? Or
Split.
Is it different?
Yeah, they put out Split as well. So they take chances, and they usually bank really well. Here's something that's really interesting. So I was watching an interview because I was genuinely curious of how this guy's going to pull this off. And they asked him, so is Spawn going to be in a lot of the movie? He said, no, Spawn's not really in the movie that much. It's a Twitch movie.
Who the hell is Twitch?
He's a character from Sam and Twitch. He's basically a cop.
Okay.
So what my take on this is that Spawn will be kind of in the background of things, and Twitch will be investigating everything that's going on with Spawn.
Okay.
He even said that the main character of Spawn isn't really that much in the movie.
Well, I've never read Spawn. I never saw the Spawn movie. I know who Todd McFarlane is. I think he's incredibly arrogant. So,
Yeah.
but also Paranormal Activity scared the hell out of me. So maybe this movie house knows what it's doing. I mean, I had to call my wife in the middle of the day after I watched that movie I said, hurry home. I was scared.
McFarlane has written the first draft of the screenplay, which the announcement for the movie described as a dark exploration of one of comics' most popular characters. McFarlane is known for reinventing the look of Spider-Man as well as co-creating Venom. He's been working on the script for a long time. Since I think he's been working on the script for a good 10 years at this point. Thank you. Is that ice cream?
You having ice cream for breakfast?
She gave me ice cream and waffles.
Nice.
I'll take it.
That's an awesome breakfast. I wish I had somebody serving me ice cream and waffles.
He says, I'd put it more into horror and suspense supernatural genre. McFarlane told Comic Book News in 2016. If you take the movie The Departed meets Paranormal Activity, something like that.
Okay. Surprise me and make it good.
You know what? I would put money this is going to be a train wreck.
I want it to be the ice cream and waffles of movies. A total sweet surprise. So I'm rooting for it.
I want it to be good. I've never really been a huge Spawn guy. I want it to be good. I don't want anything to be bad. Because eventually, at some point, chances are we're gonna have to watch this thing because for the live stream, people will be asking about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't have too much hope in it simply because it's a Spawn movie without really Spawn in it.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be like Gotham Central, where it focuses on the police and the bats just in the background.
I think that might be what he's going for, but a budget of $10 million is not a lot to work with, especially for a character that like Spawn that you would have to do a lot of his stuff CGI.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, waffles.
Now, are you putting syrup on that or just straight ice cream?
No.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Aren't they awesome?
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
You've had chicken and waffles, right? You told me you did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had chicken and waffles with sausage gravy the other day. It was unbelievable. I sent the group a picture of it. We had it at brunch like a month ago.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That looked incredible, and I was extremely envious of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love chicken and waffles, but I love ice cream and waffles too.
Mm-hmm. So you've had this before?
I have. There's a diner near my local comic book store in Annapolis, Third Eye Comics. It's a really cool old-style diner, and they serve a giant waffle covered in ice cream and whipped cream, and I've had it there. I put syrup on it, though.
Well, she made cereal ice cream. Like, my girl makes her own ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's Fruity Pebbles cereal ice cream.
Oh, so you don't need syrup on that.
No, I'm going to die of a heart attack already.
Fruity Pebbles ice cream. What a great idea.
It's fantastic. So McFarlane says, when I started writing, even at the very beginning, when they gave me a new Spider-Man book, it wasn't an accident that in my entire run of the book, the character in it were the Lizard, Wendigo, yeah. He's saying that he was a huge fan of horror. Like, he loves horror books, horror everything. And that's the direction he's aiming for. Godspeed, I hope it works out for him, and I hope it turns out okay, but directing is not an easy gig. So when he's got a lot of a big ego, so we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, we'll see how many people quit on him.
I could totally see that happening.
Well, I wish him well. As you say, I don't want anything to be bad. So I hope it's a sweet surprise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In the next news, here's one that I'm really curious about. 20th Century Fox is developing a Doctor Doom movie.
I heard about that. A
Doctor Doom film is in development at 20th Century Fox with Legion showrunner No Holloway. Holly, my mistake. Holly broke the news Thursday evening during the show at Comic-Con International. I'll just say 2 words is what he said. The first one is Doctor and the next one is Doom, Holly said. Sources tell THR that Holly is developing the film with an eye to direct. Yes, please. Yes, please make this happen.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Yeah. Well, you saw Legion, and we talked about it here as well. How great was that TV show?
Yeah, really great. It was my #1 show till American Gods came on.
Did you finish American Gods?
No, I keep forgetting. I've got 2 more episodes, but yeah, I definitely need to see it.
That is a fantastic choice for a director.
Yeah, I loved Legion.
I did too. Legion was in my. Legion is probably going to go when we do our end of the year stuff. When we touch on like movies and comics and stuff like that, Legion is going to go in my top 5 TV shows for this year.
Easily.
It's so good.
Yeah, easily.
I'm really hoping that they get the character right. You haven't seen the Fantastic, right? The last one that came out. Fantastic Four.
I haven't seen any of the Fantastic Four movies.
Bless you. Bless you. They completely butcher the character of Doctor Doom in those movies. In every single one. Even the reboot. They don't know what to do with the character. So I'm really hoping that they kind of take a Logan route with this, where they go, okay, here's a standalone Doctor Doom story. Have there been any really standalone Doctor Doom stories where he's kind of like a good guy?
Gosh, I don't know that I know, isn't he supposed to be a good guy now in like Infamous Iron Man? I don't know. I haven't read that. Or no. Maybe that's not the name of the book, because I'm not good on current books since I trade weight everything, but I thought maybe they called him something new. But I don't know anything old that's got him as a hero or an anti-hero or anything remotely on the side of good.
Well, Doom is kind of an interesting character, because some of the best writers like Hickman and stuff like that, when they write him, Doom will do something to help out the good guys, but it's kind of always in Doom's best interest why he will do it.
Yeah, I think that was it Jason Aaron that did a really good Doctor Doom when he moved Asgard moved to Latveria. I'm trying to think if that was the Jason Aaron run of Thor, and they moved Asgard to Latveria.
I don't remember.
I read so many things, I sometimes get things jumbled up, but that's in my mind, so it must be current. So where is that book? Yeah, in some book, I think Loki had something to do with it, where they moved Asgard to Latveria because it was cold, and the gods liked that. But it ended up badly, of course.
Well, of course. You can't move your entire continent to Latveria and Doom not be pissy about it.
Well, no, he had something to do. I mean, he worked with Loki, I believe, to relocate it there, but he had ulterior motives, as you say.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing a kindness out of his own heart.
You know who writes a good Doom is Hickman.
Yeah.
Hickman writes a really good Doom.
Was that in the his Fantastic Four? I haven't read that yet. Where he writes a good Doctor Doom. I haven't read that yet. I'm gonna, once I'm done with my Hellboy readathon, I'm gonna go for a Hickman readathon.
How are you on that?
Good. I'm up to BPRD 2.
You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I'm loving BPRD even more than Hellboy.
Yeah, a lot of fans say that Hellboy's great, but BPRD, a lot of fans get more attached to it.
Yeah.
Simply because there's more of a through line plot. It doesn't bounce around.
Right. It's not just a series of one shots. I like that there's there's a cohesive ongoing plot.
Do you like who's your favorite agent?
Gee, I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite yet. I love Liz. I love Johan.
I love Roger.
I love Roger. Yeah, I don't know. I like all of them. I guess probably Abe. Although, I don't know. I like the concept of Johan. But he's ectoplasm in a helmet. That's cool.
Yeah, he plays a larger role later down the line.
Okay.
So if you like him, you'll get a lot more of him later on. Especially when you start getting into the Hell on Earth stuff.
Okay.
Bone fans, you can all rejoice. Jess, are you a fan of Bone?
Woohoo! Yes, I am.
I love Bone. It's such a fun little book.
Yeah.
Bone cartoonist Jeff Smith is returning to his franchise for an all-new picture book, Smiley's Dream Book. I love Smiley.
Smiley Bone.
Scheduled to debut in summer 2018, Smiley's Dream Book will be published by Scholastic's graphic imprint. Smith's Bone ran for 55 issues from 1991 to 2004, as it's scheduled to be adapted as a film trilogy by Warner Brothers. I didn't know it was going to be a film trilogy.
I didn't either.
If the book sells well enough, Smith and Graphic have a sequel to Smiley's Dream Book planned after the debut of the first book. I am all for this, man. I am a sucker for Bone. It's such a fun little all-ages book that if you haven't read it, fans regard it as basically the Lord of the Rings of comics for a good reason, because it's in kind of a similar vein.
It does have a great mythology all around it.
It really does. I like the two. It's been so long since I've read it. The two like badgers, the really big guys that like they're covered in fur.
The rat creatures?
Yeah, the rat creatures.
Yeah. Stupid rat creatures.
I love Bone. I'm super excited about this. It's a kid's book, obviously, but I don't give a damn. I'm probably gonna end up picking this up anyway.
Yeah, me too. I love Bone.
Simply because I'm such a fan of it. I've always wanted to get the deluxe edition hardcovers that come with colored pages. I have the all-in-one trade paperback that has the entire story in a huge book, but the paper quality is terrible on it. And I've seen some of the coloring done in those books and the new ones, and they look gorgeous. Have you seen those?
I don't know that I've seen those. Not enough to comment on them. I just know them in black and white.
They are beautiful, dude. Really, really beautiful stuff. So much so that it almost at one point made me want to go out and purchase and reread the story again.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll go out and get that if the coloring's that good.
Okay. So we got to talk about this. Personally, I don't care.
Then why do we got to talk about it?
Because everybody's talking about it on the internet, so.
Oh, all right.
Rumor has it, again, this is a rumor, Warner Brothers plans to usher out Ben Affleck as Batman. Yeah, I know. Okay. Warner Brothers is planning to usher out Ben Affleck as Batman, possibly as soon as after this fall's Justice League film, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Despite Warner Brothers film studio chief Toby Emmerich telling the trade, Ben is our Batman. We love him as Batman. We want... Baby, your mom, call her. We love him as Batman. We want to keep him in the cowl as long as we can. And the Batman writer, Matt Reeves, saying that he intends to keep Affleck in the role, a source tells THR, that the studio is working on plans to usher out Affleck's Batman. Citing an unnamed source with knowledgeable of the situation, the intention is to do so as gracefully and explains the change over there. Basically, there are rumors going around that Ben Affleck will no longer be attached to the Batman after the Justice League film. We'll see what ends up happening with that. I personally think it's just rumors. We really don't know anything. At the same time, I can kind of see it happening because apparently the director, when he came in, he looked at Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck's Batman script, which was originally what they were going to go with, and he threw it in the trash and said, we're not doing this. We're going to start from scratch.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. He said, we are going to start over. We're going to start from scratch, and that is how we're going to do this. He's starting basically from the script stage forward. So we'll see how that goes, but I can't imagine that went over well for those guys.
No. Considering the power those two have, I'm shocked at that.
Yeah, I can't imagine it went over well. I don't know. I mean, there's really nothing we can really say in regards to that. I thought he was actually one of the more enjoyable parts of Justice, the Batman versus Superman and all that stuff, minus the fact that he killed in that movie.
I like that he killed in that movie.
Did you really? You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I like Superman killing. I like Batman killing. Wonder Woman was the best part of that movie, but
Wonder Woman was the best part of that movie. I am not a fan of Batman kills. I'm just not crazy about that idea and that concept. But I think he's a solid Batman, and I would really like to see him going forward. He plays more of an older version of Batman, which is something we really haven't gotten before, and I like that. I like that he's a bit more withered. He's a bit more sturdy in what he does.
Yeah, I like him as Batman so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it.
Mm-mm. It's still early on, though. You know, they could replace him. Who would you like to see?
Ben Affleck. I like him as Batman. I don't know that I can think of anybody else as Batman right now. I'm not that good on on picking actors out. Let's see, but he wasn't even really. Well, he sort of does action movies. Who action orient? What action oriented actor?
Let's get Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson's Batman.
Broken nose Batman.
Wow.
Oh wow. The bat signal's on.
Let's get The Rock as Batman.
Oh, I don't like The Rock in anything.
You don't like The Rock in anything? Well, I've got good news for you. Segue. The Rock is apparently out of the Shazam movie.
That's good. I didn't like him as Black Adam at all.
Mm-hmm.
I want a real actor in there.
Yeah. Jeff Johns, the chief creative officer of DC co-architect of the DC Extended Universe with John Berg, told Yahoo Movies on Thursday that Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam will not be in Shazam. So apparently he's still Black Adam, but he's not in Shazam. He's still doing Black Adam, but he won't be in Shazam. So, which begs the question, who the hell is Shazam fighting?
Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Mind?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too big on... I like the character of Shazam, but there's been so few so little defining runs of the character over the past few years that it's kind of sad because did you ever get to read Multiversity?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How great is Grant Morrison's Shazam?
Yeah, that was great.
That was one of my favorite of the one-shot issues that were being put out. I read that thinking, why is there not an ongoing of Grant Morrison doing a Shazam book?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, it was so good. And Shazam's one of those characters that he's pretty popular, and he pops up here and there. He was in Kingdom Come and things like that. But I can't really. When somebody asks me where should I start with Shazam, I'm like, I really can't point to you to any fantastic or defining runs on the character. At least to my knowledge, Jeff Johns' reboot of him in New 52 was okay. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, I've always had a problem with Captain Marvel being in the DC universe anyway. That's how old school I am. I know him as Captain Marvel. Right. They bought him and shoehorned him into the DC universe back when I was a kid, and I just don't dig it at all. I don't buy him as a DC superhero. So I've always had a problem with him being in the DC universe. He was fine over in his little Fawcett Comics universe, and so I'm prejudiced against him. I don't like seeing him. That's just because I'm so old school. I'm an old guy. I'm a cranky old guy this morning. I'm a COG. I'm a cranky old guy this morning. I don't like anything. Except ice cream and waffles.
Oh, it's so good. I'm looking forward to... I want to see them do a Shazam movie, but they can't do this grim, dark thing with Shazam. You can't do... That is completely against the character. The character is a kid. He's Billy Batson. Yeah. Who he was an orphan, and he comes in and discovers the power of Shazam. He gets chosen, and he's really happy about it. It's more of an upbeat book.
Yeah, the New 52 run, I did like that because they kept it separate from him being in the Justice League. So I enjoyed the New 52, especially the Zero issue. That was a really excellent issue.
I really wish Jeff Johns got more time to write that it wasn't just 5 issues and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting book.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a different take. In other news, Jess, do you want to talk some trailers?
Yes, I do.
We got our first look at the Stranger Things Season 2 trailer. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. What do you think?
That might be, that's going to be, just based on the trailer, I bet that's my #1 TV show. We are blessed with great television this year. But that trailer was unreal. I got to go back and watch it 2 or 3 more times. It was fantastic. It absolutely was. What an exciting trailer was that. I mean, talk about getting me pumped up. That show's going to be just great. I keep using the word fantastic, so I'm trying to use other words. Awesome, wonderful, fabulous, super good, man. I'm really looking forward to it. That trailer was awesome.
It really was. And the trailer, for those of you that haven't seen, starts out where they're playing a video game. I blanked out on the name of the game right now for some reason. And
yeah, it was that cartoon that you could play.
I forgot the name of it.
Oh shoot, I can see it right here. It was like had the King Arthur character. It was a cartoon that you could play that. Oh shoot, what was the name of that? That ate up my quarters fast, man. You can get killed really quickly.
I loved everything about it. Then the trailer cuts and you keep getting songs. You get the classic Michael Jackson song Thriller into the background of it, and you keep getting clips and clips and clips. I love the fact that they're in Ghostbusters uniforms.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid having a Ghostbusters uniform and going trick-or-treating. I think that was kind of a staple of kids that they grew up in the 80s and the 90s, where you would have a Ghostbusters uniform at least once when you went trick-or-treating.
Yeah, and I love that they're releasing it on Halloween. I'm going to watch as many episodes as I can on Halloween.
It's before Halloween.
Oh, I thought it said on Halloween.
October 27th.
Oh.
Is that Halloween? No.
No. I thought it said this Halloween. Maybe I thought it meant it was getting released on Halloween. It said this Halloween, so I get it.
October 27th, man.
Good. I'll break it up and finish it on Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, I know myself. I'm going to end up watching almost all of it in one day. I can't wait. We got our first look. 11 is back. Apparently spoilers for the end of Stranger Things Season 1. For those of you that haven't seen it, what are you doing, one? Go pause this video, go watch it. At the end of Stranger Things Season 1, the kid that they rescue from the Upside Down, he spits out a slug and it goes into this pipe. We don't know what happens about it. It seems like whatever is going on with that slug, it's spreading across the entire town.
Yeah, and it looks like the Upside Down is just like a negative verse of the town they live in. Like with the trailer showed it to be like a upside down version of the arcade, and everything's all scary and broken down, and it looked great. The Upside Down looked so, they're really exploring it looks like.
Yeah. I'm super excited about this. I know I've been saying this a lot in this, but it really was my favorite show of last year, and it continues to be one of my favorite shows of last year. Give me 1 second.
Do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena do 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 phenomena. This part will get edited. He'll edit it out. This part will get edited. He'll edit it. He'll edit it out.
No.
Phenomena. Oh, you won't? Okay.
Other trailers. Ready Player One was dropped on us. What'd you think?
I thought that looked cool. I liked all the pop culture references in it. I've got to read that book. I've been so swallowed up the past 2 years in comic books that I just haven't read any prose books. I started it and then got sidetracked, so I need to go back and read that thing before the movie comes out.
Yeah, there's tons of fan service in this trailer. There's the Iron Giant pops up, the DeLorean from Back to the Future pops up. This looks like it could be a ton of fun. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job recreating the stacks. That's how far I got in the book, was reading the description of the stacks. It looked really cool.
Mm-hmm. Justice League trailer. Did you get a chance to watch it? The new one?
I did. Yeah, it looks great.
It looks really fun.
Yeah, it does look fun. I'm really pumped for it. I had no problem with it whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I know people love to hate on this movie, but I'm incredibly pumped for this movie.
Same.
And there's lots of didn't we talk about at some point the reshoots that they're doing is like double the normal reshoot budget, and Henry Cavill has to have his mustache whited out or something because he's playing in Mission Impossible or something, and he's not allowed to shave his mustache. And
apparently there's so what's going on is apparently Joss Whedon has come in. He's seen an early cut of the Justice League movie, and he wasn't too crazy about what he saw. Granted, we don't know how much Scott Snyder had time to put together a cut of it, or what was what and who cut what, because he's been out of the project for a few months now, dealing with the whole situation with his daughter, who passed away, sadly, with that whole situation.
Right, wait, Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder, not Scott Snyder, Zack Snyder.
Right, yeah, I was reaching for his name too there.
Yeah. So we don't know, but apparently he saw a cut of the movie, was not pleased with it, so he's going back and doing reshoots to add more connective tissue in between scenes that transition into each other so the movie makes sense as a whole. The reshoots are totaling about $25 to $30 million.
That's a big budget.
That's a lot of money in reshoots. Matthew Sibley, who I trust his opinion on matters like this because he is studying film, so he would know some of this stuff, says that typically a reshoot runs you about $10 million, even for huge big budget films. It's usually about $10 to $8 million in that ballpark. They are doing a lot of reshoots in this. It's extensive what he's got to do, apparently. So with the reshoots happening, Henry Cavill has already filmed all of his scenes as Superman in Justice League. But the problem is that he's also filming Mission Impossible 6 right now, and he has a mustache in that movie. So he's going to come back in the Superman suit. Apparently he's going to have a mustache in the Superman suit, and they're going to have to CGI the mustache out of his face.
Because he's contractually not allowed to shave his mustache, right?
Yeah, because he contractually cannot shave his mustache because of Mission Impossible 6.
That's amazing.
People ran wild with this. And surprising enough, people were photoshopping Freddie Mercury's head onto Superman's body. Like, God damn, he could actually probably pull off a Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been hilarious. I'm looking forward to Justice League. You know what? I really would love to see Henry Cavill come back in one scene. He just has the mustache. Just give me that, Warner Brothers. Just give me that. He looks like Freddie Mercury as Superman, and I'll be fine.
That's hilarious.
But the trailer looks like it's a ton of fun. Yeah. Obviously, Aquaman's a badass in it. Everybody's a badass in the Justice League movie. It looks like it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for this. I'm cautiously excited. I always give this stuff a pass, and I never really want to judge it until I actually see it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm rooting for it, so I want it to be good.
One last trailer that I didn't mention to you before, but have you seen the brand spanking new It trailer?
Ooh, no. The first trailer scared the snot out of me.
Dude.
I can't wait to see it.
Do you mind if I send you a link right now?
No, go ahead. I actually don't have Facebook up because it kept making noise. So I'll watch it right after. Yeah, send me the link. That sounds great. I love the first trailer, and I can't wait to go. I just want to be scared out of my
And
wits.
if you were scared of the first one, this one is worse.
Ah,
This
awesome.
looks great. I cannot wait to see this, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Is
Oh,
that
it
something
looks
you'll go
fantastic.
see the first night it opens?
Oh, hands down. I'm watching this with bells on the first night it comes out. I am super excited about this. The last one that I'm going to touch on, I haven't seen it and I'm not watching it. Have you seen the new Thor trailer?
I have. I did watch it.
What are your general thoughts? I haven't seen it because Giovanni told me don't watch it. It spoils a lot of the movie apparently.
Hmm. Really? Okay. I didn't pick up on that. It does show a lot more of the movie, so I can see. But my memory's so bad, I forget everything. So, I I could probably watch it a couple more times and it still wouldn't spoil the movie for me. I thought it was great, but I can see where now that I look back on it, I can see where he says it could spoil the movie. I can totally see that, but it was good. There's a ton of Hella in it. There's a
Is it
hella
really?
ton of Hella. Yeah, she's great.
Oh man. In other news, Warner Brothers loved Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman made a lot of money, and it was a really good movie.
Hmm.
Warner Brothers is apparently planning an Oscar campaign for Best Picture and Best Director for Wonder Woman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Warner Brothers is internally discussing a formidable Oscar award campaign for Wonder Woman in the Best Picture and Best Director categories, according to Variety. The film, which is the highest grossing movie directed by a woman ever in Patty Jenkins, has to date earned $781 million at the box office.
Wow.
If nominated in either category, it would be the first superhero film to achieve that, but not the first comic book adaptation. The 1931's Skippy was nominated for Best Picture, and director Norman Turog won Best Director in the 4th Academy
Skippy.
Awards. Skippy.
I was
Warner,
not alive to see that, by the way.
I
People may think that I was, but I was not.
Warner Brothers is emboldened for this Wonder Woman campaign, according to Variety, by the recent expansion of the voting membership roster of the Academy Awards picture. Coincidentally, Gal Gadot, also an Academy Award, reportedly had strong reactions when Wonder Woman was screened there recently. So apparently they really liked it. So they are positioning it for an Oscar campaign. They want to really push this thing to get Oscar buzz.
Awesome. I think it deserves it. She deserves screenwriter of the year. I mean, director of the year. I thought it was awesome. I love that movie.
Personally, I think she won't get it.
No, because it's a superhero movie.
No, they won't win. Like, they will not win in either Best Picture or Best Director.
That'd be great if it got a nomination, though.
I could see it getting a nom. I could definitely see it getting, at the very least, a nomination.
Yeah. That'd be pretty good. That'd be really good if it got nominated.
So I think that's good news for everybody. And Jesus, this movie's made a lot of money.
Yeah, that's great. That's a note to people. Great movies make great money in the superhero category.
Isn't that shocking?
Yeah. Just make something that people want to see and you'll rake in the dough.
Yeah, and keep it faithful to the source material and you won't have any problems.
Yeah. I still want, my wife and daughter still want to see that, so I'll be buying that and watching it with them.
You should get it. It's a lot of fun. Oh, you saw it, so you know.
Yeah.
All right. In this week's I Told You So, Warner Brothers announces live-action DC Flashpoint movie. And I'm going to say it. I told you so. I've been saying this for years.
Yeah, you have.
Same thing for years, that this is how they're going to fix this thing. Okay.
Yep. Yep, I give you that. You are totally right.
Warner Brothers Flash, huh?
I'm not going to give you too much because I still haven't seen Codpiece Thor review.
I knew that was coming. I'm working on it. Warner Brothers flashed several in-development films on the screen at their panel, including Shazam, Suicide Squad 2, The Batman, Justice League Dark, Batgirl, Green Lantern Corps, and The Flash Flashpoint, presumably based on the 2011 Jeff Johns DC comic event story. With recent reports, Warner Brothers is looking for a graceful way we talked about that already. The time reality-altering storyline would certainly provide the means to get Ben Affleck out, basically. As all comic book fans of good standing know, in Flashpoint reality, Bruce Wayne was killed in Crime Alley, and his grieving father, Thomas, is Batman. For his part, Affleck seems aware of the report, telling the attendees at the Comic-Con panel emphatically that he appreciates having the part, that he'd do anything for the Batman director, Tim DeRosa. So we're not talking about that. But I told you so. Flashpoint, man. I have been saying this for years. Flashpoint is the perfect way for them to fix some of the bigger issues of their darker universe. If they want to kind of go more in a lighthearted tone, Flashpoint kind of gives them an out. If they want an actor, like, let's say Ben Affleck, if these rumors are true, and he's done after Justice League. Okay, we're going to do Flashpoint before the next Batman movie or before the next time Batman shows up. So we Flashpoint. It's an alternate universe.
Right.
And we don't have to worry about that. So I think it's a good idea. It'll definitely fix some of the issues. And personally, I want to see Thomas Wayne as Batman in that movie.
Well, especially if the Joker is who the Joker is. That was the greatest twist I've ever read in comics. Brian Azzarello, I can't wait to meet him at a con and tell him that I've been reading comics for 50 years, and that was the best twist ever.
When you find out about that, my jaw dropped on the floor and said, it's
Mine too.
So obvious. It is so obvious, but damn, is it good.
Yeah, I had no idea that's where it was going, and I was just shocked beyond words. And it's included in the Brian Azzarello Riso Batman book that just got put out. And I encourage people to pick up that book if they haven't read the Flashpoint Batman. Hands down, that is one of the best Batman stories ever.
Okay, we'll put a spoiler warning here. Spoilers for this, because I really want to talk about this.
Okay. Spoiler.
When you find out who the Joker is, it's Martha Wayne.
The wife of Thomas Wayne.
The wife of Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
When I found that out, my jaw dropped on the floor.
Mine too. I mean, I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned at what a great twist that was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where in the context of the story and how in the story Bruce is the one that ends up getting killed, not the parents.
Yeah.
It makes sense how she would eventually just have a psychotic break.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I hope we get to see that in the Flashpoint film.
I do too. That would be boss. That would be so boss. I'll start thinking about who I want as Thomas and Martha Wayne.
So I wonder what their lineup is like. Is it so I could see, okay, we got Justice League. What comes next after Justice League? What's the next movie that they're doing?
DC? Gosh, I don't know.
I don't know what their lineup is like.
I don't either.
So if we have Justice League, Matt Reeves just started Batman. I think they're already going to start working on a Flashpoint pretty soon. So Flashpoint would probably come before Batman. So yeah, it would give them a chance to kind of reboot and reset certain things the way that they want them. Kind of align everything up together. Obviously, they're not going to replace Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. That's going to stay. They wouldn't be that stupid to do something like that.
Right.
I think this is for the best.
Yeah, it sounds like a good way to reboot things.
Mm-hmm. We've got 2 more news stories to talk about. Like I said, kind of had to sift through a lot of the junk and touch on the bigger things. Here's some good news that I'm dying to read some of this stuff. Dark Horse reveals premiere lineup for Karen Berger's book imprint. For those of you that don't know, my brother. For those of you that don't know, Karen Berger was instrumental in the creating of Vertigo Comics as the Vertigo Comics that we know and love today. She was there for Preacher. My brother keeps calling me. She was there for Preacher, Sandman. How many other books did she show? 100 books, you name it. She was there basically for the classic stuff.
Yeah. Why the Last Man? Was she there for DMZ? Hellblazer. Wait, was Hellblazer? Yeah, Hellblazer was a Vertigo imprint. She was. She did that. Yeah, she did a ton of stuff. Invisibles was a Vertigo. Animal Man was Vertigo.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Patrol, that was Vertigo. That was amazing. Yeah, she groundbreaking books, absolutely groundbreaking books.
The woman's list of being of it's just insane. Like the woman's list is insane.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see. So here's the lineup of books. Well, we already knew that the powerhouse comic book editor Karen Berger was starting her own Dark Horse imprint. God, I can't wait for the collected editions of this.
Yeah.
Whew, Berger Books. We weren't sure what stories of the series that the company would release. Well, as of today, we know Berger Books will release 4 new series in 2018. Hungry Ghost by Anthony Bourdain and Joel Rose. Let's see. The first book is Hungry Ghost by Anthony Bourdain. Joel Rose Incognito Renaissance by Matt Johnson and Warren Pleece. Matahari by Emma Beebe and Ariel Christiana, and The Seeds by Ann Nesenti and David Aja.
That's the strongest one.
That's the strongest one. That's a day one buy for me.
Yeah.
Additionally, they'll be re-releasing Dave Gibbons' The Originals in an expanded edition and publishing a 10th anniversary edition of Johnson and Pleece's acclaimed Incognito, a graphic mystery.
I have that book and I just haven't read it yet, but I do have it.
Here's some of the descriptions. Releasing on January 31st, 2018, Bourdain's Hungry Ghost will be a play on a traditional Japanese game called 100 Candles. The basic gist of the game is that a bunch of samurai would sit around and try to one-up each other's stories in an effort to get other warriors to soil their armor in fear. Ghost will swap samurai for chefs, and their scary stories will be focused in some way on food. Somehow, this 4-part anthology series manages to sound like Seth Rogen's Sausage Party of all things. Hungry Ghost will include art by Vanessa Del Rey, Leo Manco, Alberto Ponticelli, Paul Pope, and Matteo Santoloco. I like that.
Yeah.
That premise sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
On February 6th, Incognito Renaissance will be unleashed on the world as a prequel to Incognito, a graphic mystery. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I have it. I got it several years ago, actually.
Have you heard good things?
Yeah. Yeah, I only buy what, is really good.
You did buy the Wolfman book.
I know. You'll be hearing about that probably later today.
Looking forward for the root beer. I'm waiting for it. The series stars Cub reporter Zane Pinchback, a black man who had the ability to pass as white as he explores the nightlife of the Harlem Renaissance. According to Berger herself, the series and the characters are great lenses in which to explore race and prejudice in America. The polarizing times we live in, you've got to tell more and more stories about those issues. I'm in. This sounds phenomenal, and this makes me actually want to go right now and order the original book, but they're going to do a re-release of it pretty soon. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I had heard a lot of good things about it. It was supposed to be fantastic, yeah.
Next up, on February 21st, Matahari will explore the real-life story of the eponymous Dutch exotic dancer convicted of being a German spy back in World War I before her execution. The series positions itself as a historical fiction, but that doesn't mean the story isn't well-researched. Hari will attempt to sort through the lies of her accusers and the outlandish stories she told about herself. And
yeah, that sounds great.
All these sound fantastic. And finally, on March 28th, Berger Books will drop The Seeds in what seems like an extremely timely story. The Seeds is set in an imminent America where fact-based reporting is gasping its last breath.
When God
comes across a massive story she isn't allowed to actually write about, she publishes the biggest myth of her career. Hopefully somebody will battle a giant Trump at some point during the series. I'm in, man. Oh my God.
That sounds interesting.
All these sound fantastic.
Yeah, Karen Berger knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
I always wonder what was behind her departure from DC. I'd like to find out about that.
You know what? I would love to know as well. I would actually like to. Can you imagine a tell-all book from Karen Berger with all the people she's worked with? I'd
read that for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what the circumstances were under her leaving or being fired or her departure just in general.
Probably really stupid decisions on their
Yeah,
part. I mean,
I'm sure it was.
yeah, you don't just. I think she was let go, if I'm not mistaken, or something like
Yeah,
that.
I
Whoever,
don't think it was her choice.
terrible decision on that person's fault. But apparently she's back now. Let's Queen Bitch is back. Like, to borrow a sentence from Riley, the Queen Bee is back, and she is coming back with some strong titles, man. I
Excellent.
honestly, I'm buying all these. These all sound good, and I can't wait to see collected editions of them.
Same for me.
Okay, one more story. So we're gonna close this one out with Death of Superman and Reign of the Superman to be adapted as two more faithful animated films. Warner Brothers Animation, DC Entertainment, and Warner Brothers Home Entertainment announced the adaptation of the iconic Death and Return of Superman as two separate feature-length animated movies. Revealed at San Diego Comic-Con Friday night, Death of Superman and the Reign of the Supermen will follow an adaptation of Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, and the original Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. DC describes Gotham by Gaslight as an adaptation. Okay, don't want to talk about that. Okay. Later in 2018, we'll get Death of Superman. They said adapting the legendary Superman adapting the legend. God, you can tell I just woke up. Adapting the legendary story of Superman's final battle with Doomsday. This will actually be the second DC original movie to adapt the material. I heard the first one wasn't that good. Says DC. The first 2007 Superman Doomsday was the very first DC Universe original movie and greatly condensed and altered the original comic book event to fit within its 75-minute running time. The upcoming adaptation will be more faithful to the source material, with much less condensed, and will include many of the fan favorite moments from the story that were left out of Doomsday. Finally, in early 2019, Reign of Superman completes the two-part adaptation. While we'll have to wait for an official synopsis to learn all of the details, that name should be a familiar one to Superman fans and suggest we'll be seeing the rise of the Superman alternates that took his place during the year after his death. For those unfamiliar with the story, there were Steel, Cyborg Superman, Superboy, and the Last Son of Krypton. So yeah, we're getting animated movies of Death of Superman, one of the most classic. One of the most. Would you say classic? I mean, it's certainly impactful.
Classic '90s, yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly the impact it had on the industry is still felt today. So I guess you could say classic, but maybe not for the best reasons either, because it basically broke Death in comics.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed that whole Death and Return and Reign of the Superman when it was coming out. I read it in floppies and I enjoyed it. So as opposed to Nightfall, which can go burn in hell, which I hated. But yeah, I like Death and Return.
You don't have the Nightfall omnibus, right?
No. I read it in floppy form and that's enough.
Yeah, Nightfall is. I like the first half of Nightfall, didn't love it, but then it just takes a nosedive. Just no. Death of Superman is something I haven't read in ages. I mean, I was a kid when I first read that story.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was like when that was first released? The fervor of fans.
I got interviewed on TV for it.
What?
Yeah, I was in my local comic book store, and I guess it was probably around 95 or something in there, 94, 95. And I was in my local comic book store that day that the Death of Superman came out because I just wanted to get a copy. And this was before the Annapolis store. This was in Old Town Alexandria, a tiny little store. And there was a line down the block to get in and buy this book. And once you finally got in, there were TV cameras from 2 stations in this tiny little store. I mean, it was about as big as this room. My basement's bigger than that store. And so I got interviewed on like what the death of Superman meant to people. And I said something like, well, he's a fictional character. So how do you kill a fictional character? I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm sure he'll come back. And people behind me were like, boo, boo. And I'm like, what? Take it easy.
Did you just scream behind you, nerds?
Yeah, I should have. But yeah, it got on the local TV station, and yeah, so I remember it well.
Yeah. Really important comic for a lot of fans. It was instrumental in a lot of kids growing up in the 90s. I actually still remember the first time, geez, I was probably 7, 8 when somebody gave me a copy of Death of Superman. By that point, the whole thing was already published out. And it was like, yeah, Superman dies in this. I said, man, no, Superman doesn't die. And then I read it and went, oh my God, Superman is dead. I remember walking up to my dad and crying after that. Then again, I did also cry during Terminator 2 as a kid, so
Oh my goodness!
Hey, that was sad, man. He's dying and he's sinking into the lava, and that whole, I now know why you cry.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, it's moments like that.
Arnold's most touching scene.
It really is. It really is. Guy can't really act worth a damn, so.
No.
That's basically all I've got right now, unless you got anything else we want to touch on. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to shut this video off, and I'm going to go, forgot that one thing, because there was so much crap going on right now, but I think we covered a lot of the bigger stuff.
Yeah, I think so, too. There was a lot of stuff that came out this week.
It was a lot, yeah. This was a bit longer than normal, too. I think this went on for about an hour and a half, close to it.
Yeah. Let's hope we still have viewers at the end of this.
Let's hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this week. This is the Jess and Hardcover News Show that you get here for being Patreon subscribers. This will be actually at the beginning of the month, since it'll be August 1st. This will be the $1 episode where everybody from the $1 and up tier gets to watch this. Thank you for joining us. Jess, where can they find you? I know you're doing a review later today.
Yeah, I'll be taping at Omnidog's Vault on YouTube. Just type in Omnidog's Vault, and you can find it there. And I'm also on Riley Moore's Facebook page, the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community.
Yes, you are. And you'll be reviewing The Astounding Wolfman later today, correct?
Yes, I will be.
You can tell with that smile.
Brother, I'll be giving my opinion on that book, all right.
I'm looking forward to that. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. And as always, thank you so much for your donations, your Patreon information, and all that other good stuff that you've given so lovingly to me. In the next few months, things might be changing in terms of my life for the better.
Oh.
We're kind of keeping hush-hush on this.
Okay.
I'll let you. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you off air.
Okay. Wow.
So
behind the scenes info.
So we're not going to put it out just in the atmosphere just yet, but love you guys. Have a great night.
Peace and love.